Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for making our channel one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube for information on the current state of politics, on personal finance, on stimulus news, on unemployment news. We appreciate you very, very much. My name is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time and let's jump right in. I want the community to brace for lots of turbulence. I want us to buckle up because the ride is about to get bumpy in the next couple of weeks. Right now, we're in the first week of September, and right around the 14th of September is when we can expect a lot of news to come in, because without additional funding at the end of this month, the government could shut down. Now, I've said this before, for me, the government shutdown seems absolutely inconceivable in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of a major economic crisis, and weeks before an election. But this has not been a normal year. In fact, this has been a year that almost all of us, I would say all of us, want to forget. Okay, we want to look back and say 2020. What was 2020? Never mind. Let's not talk about it. So at least that's been my perspective. Now, keep in mind that at this moment in time, the gridlock between the White House and the Democrats continues. Now, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and give you some information about what's likely to happen in the next couple of weeks. Oftentimes, we process the news and we try and understand it, but I'm going to try and look at this at a high level, big picture, and let you know what to expect. So let's start with the skinny bill or the targeted bill from the Republicans. They initially called it a skinny bill, and now they're calling it a targeted bill because that sounds a little bit better. Essentially, the Senate can indeed vote on a bill and can even pass a bill, but it has no meaning other than a symbolic significance, other than a public relations exercise about, the Republicans saying, hey, we tried to do something. The Democrats stood their ground. Keep in mind that for a bill to become law, it needs to be debated on and voted on by both chambers, by the House and the Senate. Now, if the Republicans pass a skinny bill or a targeted bill, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it a lightweight bill or a Weight Watchers bill. Doesn't really matter. But if the Republicans pass a bill, but the Democrats will be like, we're not even going to talk about it. We're not even going to vote on it, which, by the way, is pretty much what happened with the HEROES Act, except that the HEROES Act, originated in the House from the Democrats and went nowhere in the Senate. So think of this as, the Micro HEROES Act 2.0, except that this is originating from the Republicans. If the Republicans pass a bill, but it is not voted on and not debated on by the Democrats, it's just a complete waste of time. So, can the Senate pass a bill without the Democrats? Yes. Is that likely to become law? No. As simple as that. There you have it. That's the end of the story as far as the Senate taking action is concerned. But this is important. At this point, because we're getting so close to the election, this is becoming not only an economic exercise, not only a way for the administration or the Democrats to try and help people. Well, let's assume they want to help people, but it's becoming a public relations exercise. It's becoming a talking point for the upcoming presidential debates. It's becoming a talking point to try and help you or to try and sway your vote in November. That's what's going on right now from both sides. Games are being played from both sides. So if the Senate passes a skinny bill or a targeted bill next week, as far as we are concerned, we can go, all right, that's the end of it, because it's not going to mean anything, because it's very clear that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is not budging. Therefore, it's not going to do anything. So here's where things stand right now. There's going to be a lot of posturing next week, so you can expect that. By the way, if you see a lot of hype in the next week or two on YouTube or on, it doesn't matter whether you watch Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, it doesn't really matter what you watch. Don't give in to the hype, because if both chambers don't vote on something, don't debate on something, it ain't going anywhere. It's as simple as that. The president can want what he wants. The Senate, the Republicans can want what they want. By the way, there has not been consensus amongst Republicans. Let's be clear about that. That is a fact. Okay. Again, for me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. There has not been consensus. And because of that, the two there's been some friction between the administration and the Republicans. But as far as the Democrats are concerned, they're standing firm. These guys can want what they want. But, without the Democrats, they're not going to get anything done, because the way things are right now, Democrats control the House, Republicans control the Senate. So there's going to be a lot of turbulence in the next couple of weeks. I believe that we'll start to see some actual things happening right around the middle of September. And a lot of people are talking about, Democrats maybe buckling and maybe giving in and going to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. But so far, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has stood firm. But there have been some signs of Democrats saying, hey, we need a consensus, we need stimulus because my constituents are getting upset. Now, keep in mind that Republicans are also feeling the pressure, which is why they're introducing a skinny bill or a targeted bill next week. And, there is pressure essentially from both sides. Now, as we get closer to the deadline, to the end of September deadline, I do believe that both sides are going to be more likely to make a deal, because it is a political necessity and an economic reality that that a deal should happen. Should it have gone on so long? Should there have been so much drama? Should there have been stalled negotiations? Absolutely not. But unfortunately, none of us have the ability to turn back time, so we can only focus on where we are now and what's going to happen in the future. So, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Pelosi are standing firm, and the Democrats want right around $900 billion in state and local aid, and the Democrats want to do $150 to $200 billion. That is one big sticking point, and they are also quite apart on school aid. Democrats want something on the order of $400 billion and Republicans are at $105 billion. That's the second sticking point. The third one, the big one, is a piecemeal approach, which is what the Republicans want, which is what U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is advocating, which is what the president is advocating. Let's do something focused on stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. By the way, with the election coming up, more money in the hands of individuals immediately is going to be a political advantage. There is, there's no doubt about that. So that explains why, the President Trump would want to do a stimulus check. And also, if there is a stimulus check, a second stimulus check, both sides will want to take credit for it. So there is that, short-term gratification component of it. But there are long-term consequences to the second stimulus check. There's aid to state and local governments. There's aid to schools. There's so many other things that also need to fall into place that are as important as a second stimulus check and the extended unemployment benefits, because we're talking about the health of the whole country. We're talking about the health of our children. We're talking about the health of our first responders. So I want us to be responsible citizens and global citizens and look at the big picture, because, we're all in this together. So what's happening right now is, as we get closer to the deadline, could the two sides come closer together? I think yes. And I believe that right now there are right around 11 days left in session for two sides to pass government funding. Right now, only 11 days are left until the end of September work days. And, will we see a consensus in those 11 days? It seems difficult, but, anything's possible. But one thing's for sure, we are running out of time. Maybe, and I hate to say this, we should be thinking, what if an actual government shutdown actually happens? Now, let me be clear. I don't want it to happen. None of us want it to happen. But what if a government shutdown actually happens weeks before an election? My Lord, that's going to be, that possibility at this moment in time is highly unlikely, but it is still a possibility. Never thought I'd find myself saying, hey, a government shutdown is possible. But let's be real here. The two sides are so far apart. I have no idea why, some others say, oh, there's going to be an agreement tomorrow. Oh, they're talking and they'll work. No, that's not where they are right now. Unfortunately, that's not where they are right now. Prove me wrong. I hope there's a surprise tomorrow. So this channel is about honesty, and I'm going to give you the truth. Right now, there is zero consensus at this moment in time. I hope that changes, and when it does, I'll let you know. As you know, yesterday, and I did cover this in the last two videos on our channel, the U.S. Treasury Secretary did talk about calling the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. When he was speaking to lawmakers yesterday, he did call House Speaker Pelosi and the Speaker and U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, a representative of the White House. So the White House and the Democrats spoke, a 36-minute phone call. Unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere, and the Speaker issued a statement which included a very important emphasis on doing a full comprehensive approach versus a piecemeal approach, which just tells us how far apart these two sides are, because there's so much that they need to work out. Some people will say, oh, it's a state and local aid. Nope, it's not just that. It's, aid for schools and healthcare. Oh, it's just that. Nope, it's not that. It's a top line number. Oh, no, it's not just a top line number. It's about a big bill or a small bill. That's how far apart the two sides are. Are the differences political, ideological? Yes, they are. They're both. And are people stuck in between through no fault of their own? Yes. Is this resulting in those who need help the most not getting it? Yes. Unfortunately, that's what's happening. And so that call with U.S. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, between Mnuchin and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, did not go anywhere. I'm not going to waste time talking about the Problem Solvers Caucus, because the Problem Solvers Caucus has never really solved a problem. And the only way they can get traction is, if they somehow stick together and vote as a bloc, because in the House, there needs to be, coalitions and groups. Couple of, few senators here and there. I don't believe the Problem Solvers Caucus is worth discussing at this point in time, because this is a high-level negotiation between House Speaker Pelosi and U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and Mark Meadows. That's it. End of story, bottom line. That's where things stand right now. Whether we like it or not, that's just the way things are right now. And again, if we do see a vote next week from the Senate, it seems like there's going to be a Wednesday vote next week. And right now, we don't know anything about whether it's going to be on Wednesday. We don't know anything about the contents. It looks like it's not going to include stimulus checks, but it may include money for schools and unemployment benefits. So that's encouraging. And Senate Republicans looks like they will gather 51 votes for that bill, because remember, they have to get other GOP senators, Republican senators, to agree, and a lot of senators didn't want to put in any more money, but it looks like they will get 51 votes. And it seems like the leadership is moving towards a Wednesday vote. But right now we don't know. It's a skinny bill. Some people call it targeted because skinny sounds bad. I'm going to call it a Weight Watchers bill, because it's not going to go anywhere. It's a waste of time. And that is where things stand right now. Unfortunately, there is no clear consensus between the two sides, but that is the current state of stimulus negotiation. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Check out my video on our channel. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. My comments towards the end about, reminding all of you guys about the different things, I have it down such that I could actually do it in my sleep. I could be fast asleep and I could wake up in the morning. I could be in the middle. I could be deep in sleep and I could say, if you learn something new, please click like, subscribe, please. It's become a habit for me at this point in time. But I do want to remind my viewers and subscribers, because it does matter. Every little action you take matters. How long you watch the video matters. Whether you click like, whether you subscribe, whether you enable notifications matters. And the reason I say that is it tells YouTube whether I'm doing a good job or not. Because by watching, by clicking like, by clicking subscribe, you are telling YouTube whether I'm giving you anything that's valuable. Hopefully, I'm giving you something that's valuable. And I appreciate you. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. I really appreciate you. That would mean a lot to me. That would mean a lot to my team who works so hard. My team has been working overtime behind the scenes. I have a really top-notch team, and I'm super proud of the team that we've put together and the fast growth of this channel so quickly. But again, if you learn something new, please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications so you get instant updates going forward. You can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. Make sure to follow us on Instagram so that you can get notified on Instagram about updates. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and you can get added to SMS list. You can also get on our email list. Go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. And then you can get on our email list. You can opt out of the emails or the SMS at any point in time. Also, please make sure that you click like, you click subscribe, you enable notifications. Sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications. So if you go to youtube.com/ignitiontime, that's the homepage of our channel. Again, that's youtube.com/ignitiontime. Go ahead and just, go ahead and bookmark that channel. So what you can do is once a day, twice a day, every other day, you can check in on our channel and you can see all the latest videos we've released. So you don't miss any videos, because I don't want my viewers and subscribers to miss videos. So bookmark youtube.com/ignitiontime, please. I would really appreciate it. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So please make sure that you are subscribed and that you check out our channel for updates. I really appreciate you watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.